Good evening, Emma, Finesse, David, and Gab. How are we doing? I've got the Tuesday afternoon skate,
Great.
the Tuesday afternoon skating crew, huh?
Yeah. Ooh, hold on. I'm going to turn my light on, Carl, so that I'm not sitting in the dark.
Oh, that's cool. Wait a minute. No one needs to see up your nose.
You sure? I
Have
thought,
you been for not very long? Oh,
all right,
you're right there. It's kind of a bit dizzy now. Oh, good. Two thumbs up must be good.
I'm ready.
Good. Can we start now?
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks for, giving me some time. Appreciate it.
Good to be patient. How many of you just caught the last little bit of that highlights from the Boston Philly game? Because there's two really interesting things that come out of it. This is before we start going into our games. There was actually one really good teaching point for sort of now, and another really good teaching point for later on in your careers when you start to get a bit more skilled. I want to show you the second bit first, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to go back to that video. So just bear with me for a sec while I go back to the share. I'm going to have to skip forward quite a way to get to it. There we go.
By Swim, and how about this play by Brazo and the read by Martian?
So I want you to look at where Marchand is. Now, some of you who go to my Wednesday night how to score a goal class might recognize this particular maneuver.
The play's on the weak side away from Martian.
What did he do? You know, so you're watching this from a laundromat.
Hold up.
Oh,
That.
Crazy. Or at least I'm not lying, and I can prove it. Thor, lights.
Sarah.
No, get the lights.
Oh, right, yes.
David's right. You know the goalie has to. Oh, got some interesting sound going there. I don't know who it is. Is that you, Gab?
No,
No,
not me.
definitely not me.
It's all right. I think it's sorted.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all good. So let's have another look at it because you're right. It made the goalie move, but let's watch it.
And how about this play by Brazo and the
So we'll start watching it from here.
read by Martian?
Right, picks it up on his backhand,
Hmm.
and then he cuts across the front of the net. Now, David points out that what that does is it forces the goalie to have to move. Now, when a goalie has to move, what happens? Do their legs stay still?
No.
No, they don't, do they? So what happens?
The play's on the weak
Gets across onto his forehand eventually,
side away from.
and then he gets it through the pipe hole. Right. And that's a really successful maneuver in a lot of cases on penalty shots, penalty shootouts, if you get to penalty shootouts, or even just in this instance, like a breakaway. Rather than skate, if you have the room, rather than skate directly at the goal, if you come out from an angle and then cut across the front, it forces the goalie to have to move. And this has some significant value. You might not always necessarily be able to do it, but I know I've certainly scored a couple of goals that way, and a lot on the odd occasion that you get a penalty shot. I think in game situations, I'm 100% of my penalty shots for doing exactly that, which is not bad. I haven't had many. I think it's two, but they're both winning. So I'm happy about it. And it's a good thing that you can practice too at stick and pucks. You can skate at an angle, try and practice cutting across, and also on Wednesday night, we're starting to do that at the Goal Scoring 101 as well. So it's certainly something that you can continue to work on for breakaways. How would you defend against it? What did Philly
In
do
the
wrong
offensive
here?
zone, they go D to D. Right pad saved by Swim, and how about this play by Brazo and the read by Martian?
Did they do anything wrong?
The play's on the.
Do you think they did anything wrong there at all?
Don't think they did it much wrong because they
I don't think
went
that,
straight to the slot.
yeah, they did. I think that defensively they did the right thing. They were just caught out up high. And Marchand, when he's fresh, because he'd only just jumped on the ice, fresh legs are fast, just managed to get around them. But on the whole, yeah, they did the right thing. They skated back in the right spot. Defensively, they didn't make a mistake. Philly are actually a pretty good team defensively. They usually don't make silly mistakes and they work hard. But it's just interesting to see that even not doing anything right, like doing anything wrong, Marchand still managed to get around and create that goal by cutting across in front of the goaltender and forcing the goaltender to move. That's quite a successful thing. The other really valuable teaching point for this is they went to overtime, and then we'll see what happened in overtime. There was a couple of really good things in this overtime. I want to watch the goal just yet. I want to watch this.
3.
It's too early. Go back to.
Bruins are 4-3 in the 3-on-3 overtime session. The Flyers, who are now back to full strength. Little gets it back.
All right. So what's just happened there?
The guy fell over.
And then it's 3-on-3. So do a quick head count. What's now going to happen?
Was going to be 2-on-3 for a second.
And who's got the puck?
They do.
Yeah, and is there anyone? Well, Philly does. It's not us and them, but
Yeah.
is there anyone between the Philly player and the goal apart from the Boston goalie? There isn't, is there?
No.
So in that circumstance, as a team and defense, you're thinking, "Oh shit, we're in trouble here," and they were.
And then look out here, breakaway chance for Farabee into the slot, shoots, block.
Now, fortunately, Swayman makes the save. But what else were Boston doing? Did they give up and not chase back?
No.
They hauled ass and got back, didn't they? And that's the difference between Boston and Toronto. Because when someone gets past Toronto, they just coast back and say, whatever. Boston guys raced back. Swayman made the save and they were there to clean up the mess, which is a really valuable thing to learn, which is even if someone gets past you and they're barreling away at 1,000,000 miles an hour, don't give up the chase. Because if your goalie does make that save, and sometimes they will, you've got to be there to fix it. Right? So don't give up. Just go. Right? Really, it's a key thing.
Swayman, Bruins send it ahead. Zacha trapped it with his skates. Pasternak strong on his stick.
What's happening here?
The defenders chased the goalie behind the net.
Defenders chased the player.
Oh, the player.
Behind the net. What do we know about that?
Not to do it.
Why not?
Because they're going to come to us anyway. And it frees them up because we're chasing them. They're going to get the goal.
Let's watch.
He's got it. Turn.
Now what's happened?
There's a free player up the back corner.
There's a free player, isn't there? Because one chase behind the net, which provides that separation, you can get away because the net then becomes your teammate. Sweet, got an extra player here effectively. So they put the player behind them. The D both come across when really they shouldn't have. What should have happened in that instance is, if I can get an annotator on this. I don't know if I can on this one. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can annotate this, but can you see my mouse?
No.
You can't see the mouse pointer. Okay, so this is a bit dumb. All right. Well, anyway, you can kind of see that.
You should be able to annotate on Zoom.
Yeah, you can, but I don't think you can do it in a shared, and it's an advanced share of the thing. Anyway, not that it really matters because we can kind of describe it. But if you see there's now 2 Philly players, one who got caught behind the net, and the other one has to come across. He's got no choice, right? He can't just leave Pasternak there. Paster's one of the best goal scorers in the league. You can't leave him alone. So he had to come to him, which leaves this other guy sitting out over on the other side.
Backdoor.
Scores a goal. Don't chase behind the net. Unless you're playing against us, in which case, chase behind the net as much as you like.
Yeah, Tigers, you can chase behind the net.
Go for it. But not us, right? What they should have done in that instance is switched. And that way they would have covered Zacha and the opportunity would have been gone. But it's just an interesting thing to see that the same things that we're working on in our gameplay are happening at the elite level. And the same mistakes get made. And that's why we want to try and they're faster generally, and a bit more skillful, a little tiny bit, but generally just a hell of a lot quicker than we are. So it's a valuable thing to see from that. All right, so now that we've kind of seen that, let's have a look at the games. In fact, before we jump into the games, I'd just like some of all of your feedback on how they went. Any thoughts about them before we go into videos?
The games?
Yes, there was two. There was the Jokers and the Tigers, and they both played.
Yes. I am very proud of the Jokers. That's my
Yeah.
feedback.
Yeah.
I think it was our best game yet, and I think
Yep.
the outcome reflected that. I think the team's really like finding our stride, and the morale is really good, and the vibes are really good, and the forwards were really aggressive, and it was just really exciting game of hockey to play. They've all been, but it felt like we found our feet.
Starting to click.
Yeah.
But that's as an observation from having done this now for quite a few years, we generally find that the teams that are mostly newbies who have no idea where to stand at the start, by around about somewhere between game 4 and game 6, so in that sort of areas where it starts to click, and you start to feel like you're actually playing the game and you're involved in it, mostly knowing where you need to be. There's still a few deer caught in the headlights who are still kind of wandering around in a bit of a I don't know where I should be sort of a daze, but that improves. But for most of you, it's around about game 5, and that was game 5. So you're on track. We tweak the we have a syllabus that we teach throughout this, and you may or may not have noticed. If any of you want to see it, I'm happy to send it to you so you can actually see what each game plan is. It varies a bit each year. We made a fairly significant modification to it 2 seasons ago when the icing rule was changed. We brought the defensive zone face-off in earlier because we were getting a lot more defensive zone face-offs. Previously, we brought in the 1-2-2 forecheck early, and the D zone face-off was later. Now we've reversed that around because with the icing rule the way it is now, we get a lot of defensive zone face-offs. So we figured better to start teaching that early. We get less 1-2-2 forecheck opportunities, but we still get 1-2-2 forecheck opportunities, and there was a number of them that occurred in the games on the weekend, which we're going to look at. There's a couple of good examples of that in the video of where we sort of did one and a couple where we totally didn't. And we've got to start trying to read that. And as forwards racing up to put pressure on the puck carriers, starting to work on our peripheral vision and understanding the flow of the game a little bit better, because we're at the stage now where we probably can. First couple of games you can't. What's happening in the first few games? What are we worried about?
As in us individually worried about, or as in you worried about for us?
Well, I'm not worried about it. I'm perfectly chill with this whole thing. We know what's happening.
We're worried about falling over
Yeah.
and running into the boards,
Mm-hmm.
all those things.
All those things. Anyone else got anything you want to add to the things that in the first few games are going through your head when you get on the ice? Yeah, David makes the point. Where do I need to be right now? You're lost. Something else. Can anyone remember what the emphasis was on game one? What we were really trying to focus to get you guys to do? It was the number one thing that we wanted to get out of game 1. Golly, I got that across to you well. That's on me. Changes.
Yeah.
Right, getting changes. We didn't care about anything else. We just wanted you guys to start changing quickly. And we'll keep hammering away on that all season. And there's still, I mean, you always get a couple of people who just have no perception of time and they just get totally lost by it, and others who have a reasonably good perception of time and all sorts of things in the spectrum in between. So we'll continue to work on that. But that was a key one. And then progressively, we've introduced now pretty much our entire game plan, quick changes, short shifts, defensive pattern with the wingers not cherry picking the weak side winger, cutting across and up the ice to create the breakaway opportunity, but also a short high percentage pass. No shitty dribblers across the front of the net. We play ups and overs. We don't pass across the front of the net unless it's the only option, and it's almost never the only option, and it's very, very rarely the right option. And again, we make a point of that over and over and over again throughout the season. D-zone face-off play, and 1-2-2 forecheck. Have we worked on attack at all? Like how to score goals in terms of a team context? Events right, getting the changes, absolutely. Have we worked on any particular fancy attacking plays? No. We're scoring goals. Yep. So what does that tell you about attacking? Scoring goals.
You just gotta. The fancy stuff can come later. You just gotta shoot.
The most important thing is to get shots on the net. Actually on the net, try not to miss the thing. Make the goalies have to make saves. And that's absolutely key. And at every level of hockey, you've got to do that. Even like the elite guys, they have these great big shots and they miss. It's like, well, it was a waste. At least put it on the net. At least make the goalie have to do something. Because sooner or later, the goalie's going to make a mistake and your puck's going to go in. But if you just miss, it's not going in. So get the puck on the net. Get the puck on the net. That's our attacking strategy, really. We've got an attacking triangle. We don't run any fancy plays. We don't do drop passes. We don't do interesting zone entries or any of that stuff. We just to cross the blue line, shoot on the net. That's our game plan. It's simple and it's amazingly effective. And we're creating those breakaways too. Our whole game plan revolves around preventing breakaways against us and creating breakaways for us. That's really what we're trying to achieve. And if you're watching NHL, Olympics, high-level hockey, where the goals are, the fancy players in the attacking zone, yeah, sometimes, but not very often. Breakaways are goals. 1 in 4 to 1 in 5 of them anyway, and that's a great ratio. So with that in mind, let's have a look at some of the plays from the games. Because we've seen Boston win. Yes, it's been rare this season. I'm pretty happy about that. They had a very bad start to the season, but regardless of that, we've got a bunch of interesting things that happened. I want to show you first, there was a 1-2-2 where I think we actually got one. We had an opportunity for a 1-2-2 anyhow, really like a great opportunity for 1-2-2. And unfortunately, we didn't quite make it work. But again, we're early stages on that, which is why I'm kind of picking on it a little bit, because it is such a valuable thing to continue to work on. It's just going to take us a bit of time. So this time I can annotate. But let's kind of watch this one and see what happens. What have we got here? There's the puck. Oops, that's supposed to be a circle. Anyway, that's where the puck is.
What have we got?
Mm.
You've got currently a 2-1, but I'm assuming it's going to turn into a 1-2.
We've got an opportunity to set up a 1-2-2 forecheck, haven't we? Which is what we want to try and do. So ideally, 29 in this situation should be doing that. Yeah. Skating to the boards, taking the boards away. The other player is going to get there first, right? Their D is going to get there before we do. They've got a head start. So we want to take the boards away, and the other two forwards should plonk themselves here and here. And the 2D should plonk themselves here and here. Thus, 1, 2, 2. Okay, that's our 1-2-2 pattern. We did it at training. Not everyone was at the training session, and it's all kind of a bit, well, I think I've been told where to stand, but then applying it in context is where it gets tricky. But this is a great opportunity for it. It's like textbook. There's no icing on the play. Let's go set it up. Let's see what actually happens. What is 29 doing there?
They're peeling off and they're going into the spot that should be occupied by the second forward.
Yeah, well, so I think 29 there's basically mostly doing the right things, actually trying to implement a 1-2-2. So he's taking the boards away. He's got, you know what? I've got to take the boards away. He's skated across towards them, and he's doing that. That's good, right? That's a great example. What are the other two forwards doing? Have they recognised this as an opportunity for a 1-2-2, do you think?
I think so.
See what happens. Where should they be if that was the case?
I think the
Here and here?
Yeah, they're close.
All right, what are you doing here? 23? Let's see.
Oh,
All our forwards are now in deep, aren't they?
yeah.
Izzy's position is not too bad from the point of if we had possession, but they've got possession. So when they've got possession, we want that 1-2-2-4 check. It's different if we've got it, but we clearly don't have the puck here. All right. Now where this gets a little bit ambiguous is I can't remember your name. Sorry, he's taken away the boards, and now this guy's clearly going to skate across. And so I think what's going through Tim's mind, I think it might be, is they're going to come across to him, and so they're going to kind of reverse that around. And this is where it gets a bit creative, because in that circumstance, really, as a team, you've got two options, and we haven't discussed these at all, so it's not surprising that it's not working out. You can either have one of the 1-2-2 forwards, the twos, go in and become the one, and then this one comes back to here, and this one comes across to here, thus maintaining that pattern. Or the other alternative, and again, we haven't discussed this, and I don't expect this to get this right at all season because it's a bit dynamic. The other possibility is that this player continues to chase, and this one stays here, and Izzy stays there. That's a better way to do it. That said, and in that instance too, if this player is chase across the front instead of chasing around behind the back. Why do you want to chase across the front?
Blocks the goal? No, that's our goal. You might get the puck and then you can get a goal.
It's quicker, it's shorter distance.
Oh, that's more fun.
Right. This player, if this player here decides to skate it around, if you skate straight across here, you don't have to go as far. It's quicker. Get there faster. It's just quicker. You can chase around behind the net, but then you're giving away 5 meters because the net's in the way, and you're gonna have to go around it, and then they're away, and no, cut across the front. If you in that situation we want to chase. But again, we haven't really discussed this. It's pretty dynamic. It's just something that's worth having a look at to see what actually happened. We mostly sort of set it up. Forwards were a bit overcommitted. Like the two in the 1-2-2 were pushing in a bit too far, probably not recognizing that that's what it was. And I understand that we're not going to recognize that for quite some time, but we want to start working on recognizing it. So next week we get a bit better at it. The week after we get a bit better at it. The week after that, it's that's the 1-2-2. We can do that here. And we can it'll actually start to click until by end of the season, we're actually doing it. And then you start to see that, hey, this creates really good scoring opportunities. Why weren't we doing this earlier? And we were. We just need to have the vision, if you like, to understand what's happening in the game. If you do recognize that it's a 1-2-2 situation, is there anything you can do apart from actually implement it? What else can you do? If you recognize that it's a 1-2-2 opportunity, what can
Tell everyone else.
Yeah, tell everyone. Exactly. Communicate it. Help your teammates out. 1-2-2, let's go. If you know the name of the person who's in, say, you go in, take away the boards. Yell at them. Do it. Go, go, go. We stay back. So you can even look at your other forward and say, stay back here with me. Or even just a hand signal, like back, back, back. I was like, I remember now. Help each other. Team. Don't rely on everyone knowing where they should be all the time, because we don't. We're full of adrenaline. We're full of stress. We're tired. We've been on the ice for who knows how long. We're thinking about getting a change or not getting a change. Right? I want to score a goal. I've got to shoot the puck on the net. All these things are going through our heads. We work together as a team and we remind each other of what our plays are. And we're starting to do that now with the defensive zone face-offs, which is terrific. You're really starting to get good at them. They're getting quite consistent now, mostly. There's still a few deer in the headlights, but on the whole, we're starting to get that sorted out. And what we can see from the bench is that you're all reminding each other. And that's a great thing. That's really good team play. That's what we want to see. We can extend that into the rest of the game as well. If you recognize something, point it out. If you see that it's an up or an over, yell it at the top of your voice. So that was an opportunity for 1-2, and we kind of recognised it. We almost got it to work. For game 5, that's pretty good. Just we can do it better, and we'll continue to work on trying to do it better. But it wasn't bad. Like the situation was there. We just need to work on recognising it a bit more and not overcommitting as forwards. All right. So now let's have a look at some of the other ones. There's another. Let's have a look at this is one I really appreciated. And I'll see if you can work out why. It's only a very short video. It goes to 12 seconds. It's a really short one. It's starring one of you. See if you can work out why I've picked this particular video as an example. Why did I choose that particular video?
I feel like I might need you to play it one more time, Carl, if
Just
you don't mind.
of the show, huh?
No, because I'm so narcissistic. Clearly, I was too busy watching myself. I forgot to watch everyone else.
Watch what's happening here. Gabby, do you remember what I said to you when you came off after that shift?
I suspect it was something along the lines of, I like your fierceness
Yeah,
or something like that.
that was a good piece of fierce play. You didn't give up. You got you interfered with the other player's opportunity to shot. A puck came across there, but you were there and you're doing enough disruption to prevent it being a good scoring opportunity. That's good defense, right?
Thanks, Carl.
You're owning the space, and that's good. That's what we need. And that's good defensive play. You can be a bit more agile when you're doing it, but on the whole, that's going to come as your skating improves. But you're in the right spot, and that's
I was about to say, Carl, you've seen my skating ability. I'm not quite there yet.
better. It's getting better, and that's what you want. Okay, so that was good. We can have a look too at just the other positional play going through this particular thing. What's the situation that we should probably be fixing here?
The other D is not in the slot and not on a player.
There's someone missing, isn't there?
Me.
Is there a centre missing? Is there? Oh. Right. This player here should have a centre chasing them hard. Right, because if they got the puck up to there, that's oops, that missed. Don't miss. Should get on the net, yeah? Right. Very dangerous play. We've done the right thing in tying up the player in the slot, but we've let that other one come in without any pressure. The other thing we should probably do, and this is Lux here, Lux should probably be standing about there. So not on number 10's head, but kind of somewhere along this area. So instead of floating around back here like a bit of a cherry picker, because they've got possession, the winger should be standing between this player and the goal.
Yep.
A couple of meters away. Bearing in mind, we don't want our wingers going below that line of the top of the face-off circles. Stay out of that, right? But at the same point, the winger needs to be coming in, and so that 10 doesn't have a shot.
So here's my question for you, Carl.
Yep.
Their defenders were, I don't even know if pinching is the appropriate term. They were playing forward.
Yep.
Where would our wingers go then if their defenders are all the way in?
It depends on how forward you mean. If they're coming, above the line of the face-off circles, then basically follow them all the way in. So from the point of view of where you want to be, I'm just going to see if I can get a better line on this. So if they stay above, so away from the goal from that line there, the ring line, then you mark them.
Yeah.
If they go in past that, leave.
Yeah, okay.
Don't leave them.
Cool.
Because what's happening then is there's so much traffic and congestion in front of the net that you're not going to make it any better. You're only going to make it worse.
Yeah.
At that point, leave them. At higher levels of hockey, what would then normally be happening is someone else would be doing what's known as a cycle, and they would be cycling around.
Yeah, okay.
No one in Div 9 is going to do a cycle. This is not going to happen. And in fact, most grades, you won't see it very often. It generally only happens when you're that much better than another team that it doesn't matter. But what would normally happen would be if this player, come get myself a line again. So if this 10 went all the way in there, one of their other players would loop out.
Yep.
They cycle around. They're basically cycling around in circles. And the idea behind cycling is to try and break up a defensive structure.
Yep.
So the reason you do that, if 10 went in and 5 and that Lux chased in, then we've just created this enormous amount of space here.
Yeah.
You get that player who's just cycled out is now unmarked.
Yep.
So they've created that. They've broken the defensive pattern by sucking someone into a cycle because I've got to chase this player. Well, maybe, but not in this context. Our game plan is not to chase cycles. Our game plan is to play territory. Like it's a zone defense if you want. There are different strategies and you can watch different teams and they'll do things in different ways. And some of them are more or less conscious of what they're doing. Some are just unconsciously skating around. We try and be conscious of where we're going, and we've got territory, and we go over that over and over again. And I'm going to show you what happens when that goes wrong. There was a number of reasons for why this particular play went wrong, but it's actually a really interesting example of a bit of a cascade of things going wrong. What was this one? Oops, come back video. Where are you? This goes for about a minute, this play, and there's a bunch of things going on, but hopefully you'll be able to sort of understand why what happened. Looking at that particular situation there, what do you see?
So, well, the back defender is behind their forward. Their forward's right up in front of the goal.
Mhm.
They're not marking that player.
Mhm.
This, I think it's number 7. And then it looks like potentially the other defender / potentially center might be going to chase the player behind the net, but we haven't seen that far yet.
Possibly. What else do you see? Can you see a glaring problem here? There's something that's even kind of more obvious. Because you're right, there's a lot going on in the around the net, which is a threat. But what else is happening? What's the danger in this particular play? There's two dangers here.
Where's I don't know. Maybe it's not moving.
That player there is mostly unmarked. I think
Yep.
Izzy should be in that player's face, lifting his stick up off the ice, saying, "Not on my watch, sunshine." And the other problem is our mate Catchpole out here, who we know has a shot. Where's the defender on him?
I can't see them.
Oh. Watch what happens. Uh-oh. That guy's got a cannon. Unmarked at the blue line. He did exactly the right thing. He just took a shot, flung it in on the net. He got a bit lucky with the rebound. It bounced off Lockie's blocker, and then went over the back of it. So Lockie would probably want to have that one back and would have made the save. The guy's done absolutely the right thing. He's just flung it on the net hard as he can, and it went in. Right? Put the puck on the net. Sometimes it goes in, and that's exactly what happened. But he had so much time. He had all the time in the world. That when he took the shot, there was no one within 20 meters of him. All right. So watch it again. To their credit, they passed the puck up to him. A lot of teams don't have the brains to do that at this point. They're like, I've got to score a goal. But this guy's been, yep, pass it to me. I'm unmarked, which he absolutely is. Look how much time he's got. 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds. There's still no one within 20 meters of him. He's the goal scorer. He's the only one of them that can score goals. All right. So let's look at why it happened. We'll go back in time a bit. Now, this is not a criticism of Maddie. She hasn't played wing before and she was a bit lost. She's also got the I need to change regularly thing happening, and that's absolutely critical. So Maddie's there in the red shorts. Let's watch what happens. What's she done there? Remember that red line? Do not, oops, cannot draw with these things. There's the ringette line, isn't it? What's she done? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? You can see it. What's she done? Describe it to me.
She's playing defense.
Yeah, because that's what she's been playing. So it's
Yeah.
not criticism. This is just she's out of position. The why for that, this is a learning opportunity. It's not a, Maddie, you idiot. This is like, Maddie, this is a learning thing for you. You didn't mean to let that happen, but she's driven way in. And what that's done is it's given our mate Catchpole out here all this room. Again, there's no one within 20 meters of him. Let's see how it pans out. Oops, there's a threat. Oh, yeah. Now, this time, what does Maddie do? She goes out and puts pressure on him. So she's recognised that she's out of position, but then she comes out and takes away the shot. And that's good. She's recovered it. So realised, oh, shit, I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, I've got to go out and mark that guy. He's my responsibility. That's my territory. All right, so we fix that. And that's good. But now watch what happens. All right, we do an over behind the net. That's good. At this point, we're starting to think the wingers are going to shuffle across. Yeah. So what we should be having here is this winger coming across to the boards, that winger going like this. That's our breakout, isn't it? That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
On the whole, it works. But now watch what happens. Thoughts? How do we fix it? Did Maddie do the wrong thing? She went to get a change. She went out and covered Catchpole the first time and then went to get a change. Just the change wasn't fast enough. And when we made the change, the player jumping on didn't recognise that, hey, my player's unmarked there. I'd better get there in a hurry. Instead, it was like, oh, I'll get over the boards and, I'll noodle on over there. It's like, this is where urgency matters. That's where you get on the ice. I've got to get to this guy and quick smart. I can't wait. So that was basically a botched change that caused that. Probably not the best time to make the change, to be fair. But again, at this stage, game 5, we just want you guys changing. And so if you see an opportunity to take a change, you should probably take it. But it does mean that whoever's next up needs to be ready and needs to be, as your players coming towards you, needs to be jumping on and going. You don't have to wait till they're off the ice before you can get on. You can start to get on the ice when they're about 2 or 3 meters away, which just makes it faster. Because that's what happened. It was a botch change. And then the guy's out there with all the time in the world. Now, the other part about it, and what makes this particularly interesting, is it's on the far side. And that's where that change is always the hardest one to get, because you're on the other side of the ice. It's a long skate to get across, and it's a long skate to get the other player back on. You're better off in that instance waiting for a rush and picking up the change on the rush. But Matty may well have thought that this was a change because we got the breakout. It just got kept in. There was a bit of a skill error. The breakout was actually played just about perfectly. If you watch the pattern, we did that really well. We go back and have a look at this again. You can see here comes the puck. It's on our breakout. 25 is skating across to the boards. Watch 25. Right. That's pretty good. Matty's skating across. She's doing the right thing. Starts to look up the ice. We get a turnover on the blue line. They keep the puck in. They win that contest. And then just a bit of a messy change. So there's a few things that led up to it. But on the whole, that was actually pretty good play from us. Just some things that we can fine tune and get a bit better at. And one of the key things is just getting our changes faster. So we're exposed for less time. We're just trying to start to think about, is now a good time to change? Because sometimes it's glaringly obvious that it isn't. When you slow it down and look at it afterwards, you think, oh, I can't believe I made that change. Why did I do that? But at the time, it seems like the right choice. Don't beat yourselves up about it. The Maple Leafs do it all the time. I'm not sure if you've all seen the video, but just for fun, I'm going to show it to you because it is one of my favorites. I'll just track it down. Yeah. Come back screen right here. Got too many windows open on this computer at the moment. Development team, tutorials and tactics. Fact checking, I think that's the one. Yeah, this is the one. Oh, I love this video. It always makes me laugh. So these guys, I think on the ice there's probably about $30 or $40 million worth of salary for the Leafs. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a lot of money. Like these guys are, they're the best in the world. Let's watch what happens. But what's just happened there? Tampa are in the dark blue, the Leafs are in the white. Would it help if I drew the puck? That's where the puck is. What's this guy doing?
Chasing the puck?
Yeah, is there anyone between him and the Maple Leafs goalie?
No.
44 here should be barreling back here as fast as he can. And everyone else should be, get back, cover it. Like I showed you that video at the start where the Boston guy was racing back hard. They'd got away on a breakaway, but he wasn't giving up. And the rest didn't give up. They got back quickly and they chased back and they did their jobs. Right? Oh, I love this video. Leafs, you invest your money so well in such wise players. Watch this. What have we got?
3-on-2. What?
3-on-1. Not including the goalie. Where are the Leafs?
Are they all getting a change?
They're all getting a change. Because I don't want to back check. That's hard. Poor Riley. It wasn't much he could do about it. Except maybe put in a bit more effort getting back in the first place. And their goalie was furious. But watch this. Here's the play. Watch all the other players.
I'm not even getting a phone change.
Coasting on over.
I'm really glad I didn't choose the Leafs as my team.
The lesson is the same one that we get from that play. When you're making a change, try and time it so that it makes sense in the context of the game as best you can. Now, you're going to get it wrong sometimes. It's okay. Again, it's not a criticism. It's just something that we can do better. And the second thing is when you do it, haul ass, yeah? And don't coast. Do it quickly. If you can't stop, skate into the boards and stop on the boards. Use the boards as a brake. You can crash into it. That's fine. You've got bloody armored shorts on. You're not going to hurt yourself. But get there quick. These guys are just coasting. These guys are being paid millions of dollars a year. And you're just, it's a circus. Anyway, so they're still changing. The other guys are getting out. Oh, yeah, we'll just mosey on back, whatever. 3-on-1. So you're not the only ones who are going to make that mistake. Maybe you'll all play for the Leafs one day. I don't know. Because they'll probably take you. But it's kind of the point. Time you change is better. And be prepared to get it wrong because you're going to get it wrong. But try and time it so that it's on a rush, not in defense. It's okay to change on a rush. It's okay if you're tired to dump the puck down the other end and get a change. Sometimes that's the best play. You might think, oh, I've got a scoring opportunity here, but in reality, scoring opportunities, it's not a very good one unless it's a breakaway. Dump the puck, get a change. Much more smarter. If you can hear the sound on this, the crowd is absolutely, it's at Toronto, and the crowd is just booing like you wouldn't believe. It's like, I can't believe you guys did that. Boo! I don't like crowds booing, but in that context, I can understand why they would. It's like, I can't believe you guys just did that. That was terrible. It was such bad decision making. Anyway, so yeah, the crowd is just absolutely booing. It's good. And the Lightning are just, I can't believe they let us do that. That was so easy. Anyway, hockey. We make the same mistakes they do, just they do it faster. All right. So we've got some other good plays to look at from that game. Sorry, from our game, not the Maple Leafs game. We don't really care about that. Let's have a look at. We did a penalty kill. Actually, let's have a look at some of our goals. This one was a good one. So the goal that the Jokers got was a good piece of video to have a look at because there's some good stuff that came out of it. And they made a pretty glaring defensive error, and you'll see why we got the scoring opportunity because they made a mistake. See if you can work it out. All right. How's our defensive zone face-off?
Ours looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. We're in mostly the right spot. Not perfect, but we're getting there. Puck comes out. We all move. That's good. They fall over. It happens. What did they do there that they shouldn't have?
So three of them tried to get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Phineas answer. He unmuted.
Did they prioritize getting back? No, they did not. So now what do we have?
An odd man rush.
Yeah, we have a breakaway.
Breakaway.
Yvette's following it up. Third player in. That's good play, Yvette. Clear the puck out. That's all right. We got some good pressure on them. Bit of neutral zone backwards and forwards. We all get on side. Where's Luke gone?
Which one's Luke?
The one I'm just...
Into the slot.
Yeah. Where should he have gone?
Into the slot.
Exactly. That's the right spot. Yvette's there behind battling with the... She's now picked up the puck. That's a pretty good scoring opportunity, that isn't it? Yes, Carl. It's a good scoring opportunity.
Yes, Carl. It's a good scoring opportunity.
Right. Yvette has a shot. That's all right. Now, look at what's happening with Yvette. See if you can identify the defensive mistake that the Griffins have made here.
They've got two on her.
Don't they? Have they got
And she's...
What about on our other two forwards who are in the slot and in the high slot?
No one. Oh, that's a grumpy goalie.
Right? Unmarked player in the slot. We had two unmarked players in the slot. Their centre was doing no defence at all, and their other D was caught behind the net. So we had two free players.
Yeah.
Great. You know? It came from a defensive zone face-off. We set that up reasonably well. We got some good pressure. We got a breakaway, which was good. We didn't finish it, but we got the start of it. So that's important. That's what we want to do. It's just keep creating those opportunities. It wasn't a perfect D-zone face-off. There's a couple of things that went wrong, which we're going to keep working on. But on the whole, it worked. We created that opportunity, and then their defensive structure was non-existent. They chased behind the net, didn't they?
They did.
See if we can see it. Actually, did they chase behind the net or not? No, they didn't.
Huh.
They just all tried to battle with Yvette. And Yvette, she's pretty fierce.
Thomas the Tank.
She's fierce as. And yeah, so now we've got 2 forwards unmarked, and she sees the opportunity. I don't, it might not necessarily have been conscious, but she certainly put the puck into the right place. And Luke one times it. Here it is. Bang out, bang, one timer in the net. Sweet. Boom. Unfortunately, the Ambrose got the timing wrong on the replay, so we can't set top down and set the whole thing in like close up and vivid glorious details, because that would be
Oh, damn.
a good one for the highlight reel. But it's there, and that's an example of the defensive mistake that they made. We were in position to capitalize on. If they hadn't have had 2 players on Yvette, if they had 2 other players back, one on Luke and one on 26, I'm not sure who that is, it wouldn't have been a goal. But it was because they made that mistake. You may have heard the expression hockey is a game of mistakes. If you haven't, you've heard it now. Some of them you pay for. Right. We'll have a look at we did a penalty kill. Tigers did a PK, and I don't think we had too many penalties to kill. It might have been the only one. I should look a little bit closer. We're going to watch the Tigers PK now and see what we can learn from that. So the first thing to be aware of on a penalty kill is it almost always starts with a defensive zone face-off. But we don't use our defensive zone face-off that we use for counterattacks in a defensive zone in a penalty kill, do we? We haven't really discussed it very much, but it's how they always start. I don't think we've even kind of spoken about it. But you don't want to do that same play, do you? Why not?
Because we don't want to run away to try and get.
Oh, we'd love to.
But
There's nothing better than a short-handed goal. Shorties are the best. It's like, we had one less player than you and we still scored. You guys suck. Right? It's like the most gratifying thing is to score a shorty. But it's risky, isn't it? We don't want everyone driving forwards and leaving home abandoned, because we've only got 4 players instead of 5. We can't afford to do that. We've got to be more conservative. We can still have one player move up, because if you think about it, we still want to occupy our space. We know that we should have a player here, a player here, a player here, and a player here. That's our box defensive pattern. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to get someone up to this position quick smart. Who should it be, do you think? Any thoughts?
So should it?
That have been the first forward in the defensive wall.
Maybe.
Just moved up.
Well, I would have said probably the center. And the reason for that is because if they get possession, this D can move up to there quickly. This D's already there. All right. And we've got 2 forwards, the center and the winger. The winger can move up to the immediate threat, and then the center can come across, and then they can shuffle and organize it. Or even, depending on what happens, the center can come across to the other side. It's a bit of a read on what happens with the puck. If we win the face-off, goes back to our D. Our D is going to get the puck out of there, send it all the way to Moe. In that instance, the best option for the D is an over. Rim the crap out of it. Get that puck all the way down the other end. Make them have to go back and get it. Right, if we can. If we don't win that face-off, then we have to adapt to the play. But we still want to set up our basic boxes as quickly as we can. So pretty much whoever's closest. But you don't want to leave. And Phineas, your observation is a good one about who's in the best position to not leave gaps open. But you don't want to leave this space here open. That's the number one prime scoring opportunity. We've just seen Luke score one from there. That's, if you've got an unmarked player there, that's the best place to get a goal from. We want to make sure we always have that player marked. So we should have, they're kind of one behind the other one there. We really should probably set up with one here and one here. Already kind of in that position.
Mhm.
When we can reorganize it if we need to, and the players can rotate, you can talk to each other and say, you go up, I'll come back, or switch with me, or whatever. You can talk to each other again. There's that whole communication thing. But we want to get that organized as quickly as we can and own that space. They're not allowed in that space without us, pushing them around. No. Get rid of all those lines. Let's see what happens. What's gone wrong there?
The box is a little bit 2D at the moment.
We've got two back and two way in deep. If they get the puck under control, are we in trouble? Fortunately, they're as skillful as we are. Right, what have we got now?
I think that was and trying to get a breakaway going the other way.
Yep.
And we've so what we've got here is the puck is tied up outside the blue line.
How many of you were there?
Well, half the box is there, leaving the other half of the box to fend for themselves.
I'm not sure if I've made the point rigorously enough throughout this season, and we're probably going to have to amplify it a little bit. When there's a board battle and you're in defense, don't help. I know that sounds kind of weird because in that case, Phineas, it's not you. I'm not sure exactly who it is that's come in from behind you to help out, but it's not helping. What we've done there is just got ourselves more exposed. In that situation, I would really like to see, if you're in a board battle up there and fighting for it, that's fine. But the other player should be back here. Remember, we're defending this space. That's what happens up here. It's nice, but it's not critical. We want to kill that penalty. Now you can look at it in game context as well. There's a minute and a half to go. We're down 2-0. I would have pulled the goal if we weren't on the penalty, because we haven't done that yet, and it's good fun to do it. And then we damn the torpedo. So it's kind of a situation where you think, well, we're down, we take a few more risks, and that's okay. If it's a conscious decision, we're down 2 goals. We've got a minute and a half to go. Let's take a few more risks and see if we can get away with them. That's perfectly fine, as long as it's a conscious decision. If it's just skating around like chickens with their heads cut off, it's not such a good thing. But if it's a conscious decision, I've made a call based on the game scenario, then that's all right.
Yeah, that was my thought process being that high up. We were on the penalty kill that saw the puck was going forward and decided to chase it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it got tied up.
Yeah.
And
well, that's okay. That happens. I just wouldn't have had anyone come in to help you. If I was the second forward, I'd have let you. You've got that on your own. I'm going to stay back and cover if the puck comes out.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. No, I was so focused on the puck at that point that I didn't see the other person there.
Well, it's not you anyway. You haven't gone in to help yourself. There's only one of you. Right, it's the other forward or the other player. I'm not sure. Again, I can't say who it is who's gone in to help, and that's actually not helping. It puts us in a worse situation. We'll go over that in pre-game briefings this coming week, along the lines of, remember, board battles, don't go and help, but one player deal with it, because if they have 2 that go in on one, all of a sudden we've now got a free player somewhere, haven't we? If we have 2 that go in on their one, now all of a sudden they've got a free player, and we don't want them to have free players. Oops, come back, bloody annotator. We get a whistle good because I think they're offside. It happens so often in penalty power plays in Div 9. Just get the puck out of the zone. The other side will put themselves offside half the time. Right, from this particular face-off, what should we do here?
I have no idea, Kyle.
All right. Well, what's a box defense look like?
Not that.
Not that. Doesn't look like that at all. Scarlett's a little bit deer in the headlights at the moment. She's still trying to find her way around, but we should have both our D just back guarding the slot. The forwards can stay up above the blue line if they want. In this instance, my personal preference right about now with your gameplay is just to have one player there and the other forward back, so that one player taking the face off. But the funny thing about that is the other team will get really confused. They're expecting to see a particular layout of players. It's not like that. Half of them don't know where to stand themselves because they're looking at you to know where to line up. If you're not there, they don't know where to stand. Like, perfectly seriously. That's one of the reasons why the box defense is so effective in Div 9 is because we just sit back and wait. And the other team skates up with no idea of what to do because they have so much time. They don't know what to do with it. Like, they'll shoot the puck up, they'll ice it, they'll get themselves offside because half of them don't understand the offside rule or they're just skating too quickly or whatever. And we just wait and watch it happen. One of the observations that gets made by a lot of the other teams when we play the box defense is, I don't know why you guys do it, but I tell you, it's really intimidating. We don't like playing against it. That's why we do it. Because it bloody well works. So just something to pick up from that.
So it's okay to pre-set up the box if we're having an offside.
Absolutely. Yeah, just have one player take the face off. Have the other three back. That's fine. They won't know where to stand. They're going to get really confused. If they're confused, they're going to make mistakes. We want them to make mistakes. By all means, go offside. Terrific. Works for me. Another 20 seconds off the penalty. They do it over and over and over again. Go back, watch the videos. You'll see. Find every penalty you can and just watch how many times the other teams go offside. We do it too. That's looking better.
Hey!
We're getting it. And watch what happens. Right, we own the space. I would have preferred. Now, what's happened here is, again, Scarlett's still a little bit deer in the headlights. I don't think she understands the difference between contain and contest. What she should have done here is basically stayed there with an active stick. This player is not going to score a goal from there.
Mm-hmm.
Just not going to happen. I mean, there's like a 1 in a million chance they put the puck in and get some lucky deflection. But honestly, it's really, really rare. It's not your priority. What she wants to do is just own this space with an active stick. What I don't want to see is this guy coming across over to here. All right, watch what he actually does. But we recover our pattern, and that's okay. Not perfect, but it works. They're all offside. They've got to come back out because they've got the puck out of the zone. Now we've got our box. It's a bit messy, but it's still kind of boxish. They're throwing the puck around all over the place. They don't know what to do with it. They have to go back and get it again. What have we had to do for the last 20 seconds? Nothing.
Oh.
Just standing there watching it all, going, oh, nice. Well, they pass the puck around and bugger it up. And offside. And back onside. Shot under pressure, goes wide. Not surprisingly, we had lots of pressure on him. Here's your backhand. Chip it off the boards. Anyway, we'll clear the puck out. Cross ice, lucky to get away with that, but still we did. And there's the penalty kill. All right. So we can do a lot better, but at the same time, we did a lot of things right.
Mm.
So that's not a bad PK. There's a lot fine tuning we can do, and there's still a few players who need a bit more. Hey, you stand here and stay here, sort of stuff. And we probably need to do a little bit of work on containing. And we haven't done that in a training session yet. This time we used to do it in training session 2, but we didn't do it this time around because we wanted to break it up a little bit and give you that chip the puck off the boards thing. Do you remember we practiced that at training? Where you got a bit of a chance to do that instead of contesting and containing. But we're going to do contest and contain at the next training session. I've spoken about it in pre-games, but it's not the same as actually getting a chance to do it. So we'll definitely be doing contest and contain in the next training session and trying to find some good context for it. And that'll be one of the things that we're going to work on in the next training session, which will be rehearsing our breakout, PK versus power play, D-zone face-off practice, contest and contain. And we're going to introduce passing the puck to the D in attack. So that means
I have to actually come past
yes,
the defensive zone, Carl.
yes, you do.
Okay.
But that's okay. All right. It's a reading thing. It's a question of context. But we want you to at least have that as an option as part of the things that you can do. If you don't feel confident to do it, if you don't think you're fast enough to get back if they get possession, what should you do? There's 2 things you can try. There's one really obvious thing, which is just stay back and don't participate in it at all. What's the other thing? If you do come up to the blue line and you're not confident,
Go just to the red line.
don't go up to the blue. You're already at the blue line.
Oh.
If you see them get possession or
Get
even
a change.
or even look like, well, not under defense, please. We're not playing for the Leafs.
Oh, sorry.
You come up to the blue line and you see that we don't have good possession. What are you going to do?
Move back.
Get back. It's much better to be back and miss out on a scoring opportunity than is to give away a breakaway. Much better. Breakaway's bad. Losing attacking opportunities probably wasn't going to be a goal anyway. 1 in 20 to 1 in 30 of them go in. It's not a particularly good odds. 1 in 5 breakaways goes in. They are good odds. So we don't want breakaways. Breakaways is our priority. But we still want that option as you get more confident to be able to move up and create that play and be involved in it. But again, turn around if you need to. Oh, the ruse. I don't know that they can see you unless you look at the camera. You'll need to come a bit closer. 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 There's the camera.
Including landmines. Hi.
Hi.
It's Jane.
The brains of
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
So that's all I wanted to go through on this one. I put all the videos up in the Facebook group. Please do have a look at them. It is Derby 2 this Saturday, which is always a great game. It's a good opportunity for both teams to see how they're going against each other. Some good opportunities there to work on skills against a team that's playing the same game plan. It's a question of who does it better. Because not surprisingly, both teams have the same game plan. We've got the same coach and the same strategy and the same syllabus. So it's just a question of who's going to do it better than the other team. And also who gets a bit of luck. Because we all know that part of scoring goals is luck. So yeah, please do have a look at that. On those videos, I want comments on the Facebook group, please, saying why you think I've chosen those particular videos. It can be a serious thing or it can be a piss take. I don't mind. If something makes me laugh out loud and spill my coffee, even though I don't drink coffee, that'd be amazing. Then it might get yourself to a little Stanley Cup for the
My prize. Oh, right above me, my prized possession, Carl.
So for yeah. Anyway, so that's it for tonight. Any questions or anything before we shut it all down?
Thank you.
We're all good. Cool. All right. The other thing is too, I don't know if anyone else is interested, but Sloots and Gabby came along today on the Tuesday afternoon skate session at the rink at iceHQ, and we just did some basic skills work. If anyone else is interested in doing that,
Very good.
that's one that I can make it to fairly consistently. There's a few extra stick and pucks that have been put up as well. So if you're going to go to a stick and puck, I know I did some with Cass about 2 weeks ago. We went to a stick and puck. So if you're going to do it, let me know. And we can come along and we can work on some skills, some individual skills at stick and pucks. And you can also learn how to use a stick and puck usefully. A lot of people go along to stick and pucks with no plan, and they skate around and they shoot some shots on the net and they get kind of bored and why am I doing this? I didn't really achieve anything much. Whereas we can have a bit of a plan and work on some skills that you can actually practice in a stick and puck, and that has some value.
So Emily and I are going to be at Stick and Puck tomorrow at iceHQ.
What time is it? That's the lunchtime one?
The lunchtime one, yeah.
Do you want me to come along?
That'd be great.
I'll do my best to get there.
All right, sweet.
Are you able to go to Sunday Stick and Puck? It's at like 4.
I think Yvette's going to be at that one too, Carl.
Yeah, I think as long as I can get in, because I have to buy a pass to get in as well. It just depends if it's filled up or not. Well, I may be able to sneak in for free. I'll have a chat to the rink owes me quite a bit. And I've never billed them a cent for anything. So all the stuff I do with them is voluntary, but we have a bit of a, I don't pay for public sessions sort of thing for years. And I think I can usually wangle my way into stick and pucks, even if they're oversubscribed, because I know, but anyway, I'll have to talk to John about it, but see if I can do it. But I'll do my best to get along there tomorrow for the lunchtime one. Gets me out of the house too, which is nice, because otherwise I sit at home moping. Alrighty, shut it down now, and we'll see you throughout the week. David makes another good point. As long as you're able to beat any opponent back in a race, absolutely. Alrighty, thanks everyone. This is recorded. We'll stick it up on I'll mail out the link.
Thanks, Carl.
And yeah, get onto the Facebook, to the videos, and what's this one teaching me? Why do you pick that? Is this just to make me feel bad?
Thank you.
Thanks, Carl. Bye.